The acceleration of Ukraine's integration into EU. This was the main topic discussed at the government meeting today. The EU ambassador and Ukrainian MPs attended the meeting. The cabinet of ministers also introduced a website designed to monitor information on cooperation between Ukraine and the EU. Our correspondent Yulia Bashko was there. Hello, Yulia. Could you please tell us what the website is about?
Hello, Tonya. The new website presented at the meeting will be of interest of both Ukrainians and Europeans. It is called Pulse of the Agreement, and it monitors the current state of 2,000 tasks and more than 7,000 events. This is the main information hub about the progress of Ukraine's European integration. The website was launched by the previous government, but now it has been opened to the public. Let's listen more.
Today we are opening the Pulse of the Agreement. This is a system for monitoring the implementation of the action plan. The system existed 3 years before we came to power, but it was available exclusively to government officials. The previous government did not want to make it public. Therefore, in the spirit of transparency, we are opening the system for external observers and analysts.
In addition, the Cabinet of Ministers approved an updated action plan to accelerate Ukraine's European integration. Let me remind you that within 5 years, Ukraine plans to achieve compliance with the economic criteria for joining the European Union. Let's listen more.
We need to bring our state as close as possible to the effective standards at work in Europe. At the same time, we understand that we have to be as pragmatic as possible. We have to do what is beneficial for Ukraine, its people, and Ukrainian business.
A special government meeting on Ukraine's Euro integration was held for the first time today, and it was open to the press. Diplomats and ambassadors were also invited. EU Ambassador Martin Arsikas addressed the ministers. He emphasized that trade with the EU has reached 42% of Ukrainians' export. He also stressed the necessity to complete reforms. Let's listen more.
Since 2014, the EU has mobilized an unprecedented package of €15 billion in grants and loans to support the reform process in virtually all reform sectors, be it transport, energy, food safety, agriculture, competition, financial services, customs, environment, aviation even. Some of these reforms are difficult. And I recall vividly reform processes that were undertaken by countries in the Central and Eastern European region earlier on. But these reforms will ultimately benefit hugely your country and your citizens, your country's modernization, investment and prosperity.
I'd like to remind our audience that Ukraine signed an association agreement with the EU 5 years ago. The country hoped to become a full EU member eventually. That's all I have now. Back to you, Tonya.
Thank you so much, Yulia. That was our correspondent Yulia Bashko reporting live from the government's meeting.